Animals aren't like us. Usually they're giving, unselfish, and always thinking of their young first before themselves. Sometimes it's not even their own young they're looking after, it's someone else's. Not just someone from their own group of animals, a whole other species entirely. Here are 8 unbelievable times animals adopted other animals. Tigers are the ferocious beasts of the jungle who are very particular about how they raise their cubs. Tigresses are always on high alert with their babies. They spend almost all of their time feeding them, only taking breaks to eat, that too barely. If a tigress senses even the tiniest bit of danger, she'll move her kids to another location. She doesn't care if she needs to do it hundreds of times, she'll get it done. It's the type of work only someone's own mother could really do. That's why it was so surprising to see this chimpanzee, named Ajana, be so good at mothering 2 tiger cubs. She picked up on how to take care of them by seeing their handler. So she's great at feeding them on time, playing with them, making them feel safe, and will even use her finger as a pacifier to calm them down if they're being cranky. What's even more surprising is that this wasn't the first time she's done this. A couple of years before this, she even raised lion cubs and leopard cubs the same exact way. Ronan and Emma Lally were just a regular couple that owned a little farm. Even though they had other jobs, they had a bunch of different farm animals that you'd expect to see on a farm. In the end, they decided to get ducks to complete their animal collection. So Ronan got a couple of fertilized eggs and waited for them to hatch. Not too long after, the eggs hatched into little ducklings. But when Ronan went to check up on the ducklings, he wasn't able to find them anywhere on the farm. After searching for quite some time, he finally found them, but they were running towards a shed near the farm where an adult cat lived. When Ronan saw the ducklings go into the shed, he just thought that the cat must have eaten them, but that wasn't the case. At one point, Emma even caught the cat with one of the ducklings in her mouth and thought the cat was just gonna eat the little thing right in front of her eyes. However, she noticed that the cat wasn't actually holding the ducklings forcefully at all. So Emma and Ronan decided to let the cat go, and all the ducklings went straight towards it. All of a sudden, all of them cozied up on the cat's stomach and just started nursing as if it were their own mother. This was a shock for not just Ronan and Emma, but for everyone, since cats usually eat small birds like ducklings. Not only that, but she was even purring and grooming the ducklings. Well, turns out there was actually a reason why the cat adopted the ducklings. Just 1 hour before, the cat had given birth to 3 kittens. Since the cat had literally just given birth, her mothering hormones were active, which is why she adopted the ducklings. If the cat hadn't given birth just an hour before, she would have probably eaten the ducklings without hesitation. So it was an incredibly lucky accident. No matter what species you are, there's no pain like losing your own child. This sweet dog had just gone into premature labor and given birth to puppies. While at the shelter, she tried everything to save them, but they were just too young to survive. The mother dog was actually found at a gas station, visibly distraught after losing all of her puppies. So the shelter provided the mother with a stuffed toy that had a heartbeat in order to calm her down. The dog even tore right through the mattress she was sitting on while trying to look for her puppies. After all of this, the shelter suddenly had an idea. They decided to introduce motherless kittens to the dog. The dog instantly accepted the kittens and started nursing them. The kittens looked super thin when the shelter first found them, but they seemed way healthier after just a few days. Unfortunately, the mother dog was actually diagnosed with cancer just a little while after this. But she ended up overcoming it with chemo and got adopted with one of her kittens. This swanling was found in a deep well all alone with no parents in sight. So this man decided to save the little swanling and put it in the incubator, just to keep it warm. But a duckling hatched not too far away from the swanling and thought it was its mother. Even though the swanling itself was a baby, it still took care of the duckling and played around with it. The duckling would follow the swanling around everywhere it went, and would cuddle up with it if it sat down somewhere. After a while, the duckling even started mimicking the swanling's behavior, and would clean its body just like the swanling. They both did basically everything together, from eating to bathing. Nature can be very cruel, even to babies. But that's just how the world works. This baby elephant, named Jabulani, was abandoned by his family after it got stuck in a ditch. Once the other elephants realized there was no way they could get Jabulani out, they proceeded to leave him behind. Fortunately, he was later found by some miners who rescued him and took him to the Hoedsproot breeding center. When Jabulani came to the center, he was very aggressive, which is normal for scared elephants. But when Jabulani met Skop the sheep, all his worries faded away. Although the duo is a little unusual, Skop the sheep kept an eye on Jabulani as if he were her own son, and kept him out of trouble. Jim Watkins and his wife Karen decided to help out a mother cat with a bunch of kittens, and gave them a loving home. But not too long after, a baby squirrel fell out of a tree straight into their yard. The squirrel couldn't really climb trees anywhere since it was too little. So they decided to put the baby squirrel in the same box as the kittens with the cat. The mother cat instantly accepted the baby squirrel and started to feed and groom it as if it were her own. What's even more amazing is that the squirrel thinks it's a kitten itself. It'll let you pick it up and pet it all you want. On top of that, it even purrs just like a cat would. A tsunami back in 2004 misplaced a lot of animals in Southeast Asia. This baby hippo was also a victim of this tragedy, and was in critical condition when it was found. Many even considered it lucky to be alive in the first place. The baby hippo was extremely traumatized and was separated from his mother. The hippo was later sent to an animal sanctuary in Kenya, where he found an old tortoise in his enclosure. The tortoise was over a century old, named Mzi, which literally means old man in Swahili. The hippo, later named Owen, ran straight to the tortoise and tried to cuddle with him. But Mzi was not having it and even hissed at the baby hippo. But Owen was stubborn and continued to follow Mzi everywhere until he finally accepted him. After that, they cuddled, licked each other, and did just about everything together. The workers actually think that the hippo thinks the tortoise is a hippo because of its similar colors and features. Once Owen got too big, he had to be separated from Mzi, since he could possibly hurt him, and was put into an enclosure with other hippos his size. Mzi, on the other hand, continued living his life as he was before meeting Owen. Alright, which of these stories did you find the most heartwarming? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Trend Joint for more. See you in the next one.